What's up, everybody? We're out here in South Denver, Lakewood, Colorado area, and I'm pulling up on one of my good friends, Booker and Christy Newbins. See if they want to show us their beautiful 64 Impala Klymaxx. What's up, Booker?
Smoke.
How are you, man? How are you, my brother? Nice to see you.
Brother?
Good, bro.
Good.
I'm out here in Lakewood and just want to see if we can check out your car, man.
Come on in.
That's what's up. Thank you so much for opening your doors to us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Come on in. Big shot.
What's up, everybody? This is Smokey from the Lowrider Connection, and we're connecting with Colorado lowriders with some beautiful rides. So please stay tuned every week for another episode. Today, we're in Englewood, Colorado, connecting with Booker and Christy Newbins and their amazing 64 Chevy Impala Super Sport named Klymaxx. How you guys doing today?
We're doing good, Smoke. Doing good.
Thanks for opening your doors, letting us come in and talk to you guys and check out your beautiful 64 Impala. Booker, at what age did you own your first custom ride, and what kind of car was it?
Woo. Telling on myself. I was 20 years old. My first car was a 1987 Chevy Celebrity.
Oh, wow. A Celery, huh?
A Celebrity.
And you really don't hear those too much, man.
No, you don't. You don't.
And what was the first couple things you did to that car, Booker?
Man, I ended up doing a Phantom rag top on it, done by the best at that time, Eddie Calhoun. That's an old name.
Oh, damn.
And then I went ahead and put some, went to Ross Rims and Tires and and we put some McLeans on there, and that was my lowrider.
And that was it, huh?
That was it, brother.
Got the tunes in the car.
I had
got
the tunes at the wheels, at
you
the
were
top.
rolling.
I'm ready.
That's what's up. So what made you get into the lowrider scene?
Man, as a little kid, I lived in the projects, and I lived right by Curtis Park, and every year they used to have anniversaries. And as you know, when they had an anniversary at each park, they used to have a lowrider show.
Oh, really?
And I remember as a little kid walking down there and seeing all those cars lined up and the cars hopping. I was like, man, I want to get one of those.
One day.
One day I'm going to be there. One day.
That's awesome. So where did you guys meet?
Man, we met at our job.
At work, huh?
Yeah, at work.
And did he kind of tell you, hey, I'm into cars and stuff like that?
We both worked at auto auction together.
Oh,
so we were in the auto industry already. I work in the auto industry already, so
yeah.
He was like macking on me at work.
Uh-oh.
Gym to work out. I was all over.
That's awesome. But what year did you guys meet?
1997.
Oh, wow.
We worked together for years before that. We just didn't really know each other.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys met and hooked up, and here you guys have a beautiful family.
Yes.
Was the 6.4 Impala one of your dream cars?
Man, it was. I have to say it was. I think that the 64 Impala is kind of like the pinnacle of a lowrider.
It is. Yes.
I thought that was it. So the 64 was it. Yes.
Yeah. And all the music videos back in the day, there was always a 6.4, man. Always.
Mm-hmm.
When and what year did you purchase this beautiful Impala?
I'll let my wife talk about that.
We were trying to figure out the year just the other day. It's probably been 15, 16 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
It was actually, he wanted we had a couple cars we had finished and he liked, but one of his friends was selling a 64 Impala for a little bit more money than we had at the time. And I'm like, well, let's just look and see what we can find. And I saw one populate on Craigslist, and it was there for like a week. I tried to call on it, the number didn't work. I was like, oh, maybe it's just something fake. It's still on Craigslist. I finally emailed them. I'm like, hey, I want to buy your Impala. When can we meet? It was actually in Castle Rock, Colorado. Oh, wow. We went that evening, and the guy needed actually to sell. He had to sell it because he had some bills to make, and he sold it to us for like $5,000.
Oh, wow.
And it was really
that's unheard of.
I got to make my house payment, so it was like $5,000. Booker's like, I'll be back to pick it up tomorrow. Here's the cash. And it was actually really in really good condition.
Really good condition.
He just had to tune it up, and it ran and everything. So
wow,
we were fortunate and blessed, and just something that was meant to be for him to have at the time. So,
and that's a miracle, especially for Impala for that price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now they're up to 100,000 and above.
It was actually a car from Cali, and the guy it was fixed up originally in Cali when the guy moved here from Cali. So
wow, what a story, man! And a lot of people have seen this car on the show scene, and now they're gonna kind of put that history together now. So it's really cool to get that history and to know.
Yeah, it was cool at the time. So,
what year did the actual build start?
We started the actual build around 2008.
2008.
2008.
And when did you guys finish the project?
Actually, the project was just finished, but 3 years, just 3 years ago.
Wow.
Car's only been out 3 years. It took almost 15 years to build this car.
Wow. And at the end of the day, they're still not done.
Still not.
That's the bad part.
We can still.
He's done.
But the car's not.
The car's done. He's not, but the car is.
That's funny. After getting the game plan together and started disassembling the car, who did the custom framework and what modifications were done to the frame?
Well, originally Black Magic done the frame underneath this car, and when we got it here, it was good, but it wasn't what I really wanted. So we tore down the frame and took it over to Aguilar Designs, which is Tomas Aguilar. And that's when we came up with a design to do the frame a little bit better. We have about 5 insert cutouts of the frame that light up to say Klymaxx. So smooth it out, and then we send it out to powder coated, and then we rebuilt from there.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing to see what you've done to the frame of this car. Well, the frame was getting modified. I know you put this car in a rotisserie. What color is the car and who painted the car?
The color of the car is a candy purple, and believe it or not, I didn't even choose the color. It was the car was done by Precision Collision, a guy named Jared. Originally, I wanted this car to be kind of like a red hot fire candy color, cinnamon. And then I went over there, or orange, and I went over there, and he says that color is not going to do any justification with the grooves and the curves of the car. He says, well, let's look for purples. And so he actually chose this purple of this car, and I was like loving it, in heaven. So it is a candy color purple.
It's beautiful. Well, he picked the right color.
Right.
He did a good job on that one. Before applying the clear coat, who did all the pinstripe and the leaf on the car?
We had two. So on the belly of the car, the frame of the car, tape. He done the pinstripe on it. And then for the outside of the car, I called in Chavo because he's a little bit more experienced at that time with lowriders and kind of what I kind of felt. So Chavo came out and done the leafing and the pinstriping from the belly to the top of the car.
After putting the car back on the frame and the paint was complete, who chrome plated and engraved all the suspension on the car?
That was all done by Crazy Cutting out of Arizona, Yuma, Arizona. So they're the one that pretty much done all the engraving and all the work on this car.
Nice. And did you take the car out there, or was it?
The funniest thing is this car was, the way I came up with all this engraving, every show they'd be at, they had a different part to this car at their show. And so I bought that part. I bought the grill one show. I bought the eyebrow one show. The only thing that I really had to send to them was my side moldings, brand new, but I just kept piecing it together every show.
Wow, that's amazing. And it came out perfect, man.
It came out perfect. Yeah.
It does. Once all the suspension was addressed, who lifted and installed the hydraulic setup? How many hydraulic pumps are you running and how many batteries?
My boy Dominique. He's the one that came out and put all the hydraulics in it. We're running a 3-pump. Originally,
Wait, can we stop 1 second? We have to, one more thing, because you're working on the underside of the paint. He needs to call out Frank for the are you going to
patterns.
The patterns underneath the car and stuff.
Frank
on the pattern. Majesty Car Club in Greeley.
Yeah.
He done the pattern.
Oh, Frankie.
Yeah, Frank, he done the whole undercarriage. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He forgot to call out Frank, so I don't want him not to do that.
And how many batteries are you running on Klymaxx?
So I'm only running 3 batteries on this car. If it was my choice, I'll be running 1 battery. But Dominique wouldn't let me do it. He says that's dangerous. So I'm running 3 batteries out of respect for him.
After the hydraulics were installed, who was responsible for the beautiful upholstery work throughout the interior of the car and the trunk?
So that was done by Colorado Upholstery. Samson, the traffic jam, he done all the molding of that, all the fiberglass work, the stereo system, the lighting, some of the lighting in and out the car. Samson done all that.
Wow, he did a killer job.
Yes.
One of the coolest upgrades on this car is the push button ignition start. What inspired you to add this upgrade?
Well, we have push button all through. Everything in the car is push button. The only thing is not is the hydraulics, and of course Dominique has figured that out too. So that might be he wants to do that, but it has a push button start, transmission. It's all push button. The windows all push button, and that's all inspired from the hot rods. I really studied when I was doing this car and looking at different areas and just picking things off of people, and the hot rod people were into all the push buttons.
Hot rods have some of the cleanest cars out there.
Yeah,
they do. They do.
Some of the cleanest.
So that's where I got that from. I talked to them. Where do you get that push button transmission? What are you doing for the push button for the windows? And wow, I said I'm gonna put it right on the lowrider.
And it starts right up.
Right up on the drop of the dime.
Yeah, that's awesome. Another amazing upgrade in the interior was the light up armrests. Who made
Mm.
these custom armrests come to life?
Well, a guy named Bob. It's funny. I met him at the gym one day. I was just working on the treadmill, and I always seen him in the gym. I said, "What do you do?" He says, "I own 8 patent formulas in anything plastic." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I can do anything you want me to do." So I said, "Come over, see this car I'm building." And so he came to my shop in here. He looked. He said, "What do you want me to do?" At that time, I had no idea what I wanted to do from armrests. I said, "Maybe some armrests that light up." He said, "Oh, that's easy." I said, "All right, let's do it." And he came back about a month later and had those armrests. I was like, "Wow, beautiful."
And they're
Beautiful work.
amazing, man. Just
They're
the way they light
beautiful
up.
work. Yes, beautiful work.
Good idea, Booker.
Mhm.
What size motor are you running in Klymaxx? And who did the chrome plating and the engraving in the engine bay?
I'm running just a 350 in here. Nothing bigger, nothing powerful. I wanted to make sure I took that extra money from what I would put in a big motor and dress it up. And so all the dressing was done by Crazy Cutting too. They done all the engraving and chroming of the motor too.
So, Booker, who did the beautiful airbrush work on the back trunk lid and the booty kit of this car?
Randy G, Gustafson, one of the best mural guys we have here, I feel, in Colorado. One of the best mural guys, I believe, nationwide. When I went to him for the trunk, I wanted him to understand my life story of what I went through in life. I wanted to understand that on one side of the trunk, it just shows the destruction life that I lived, as far as gangs and selling drugs, sleeping with women, clubbing. And then I wanted him to show that in the middle part, how Jesus saved me from all that. And he wrapped me, he's holding me in his arms and telling me everything's going to be okay. And then after that, he gives me another life on the other side of the trunk with my wife and my grandkids and my son. So it showed the destruction part of the trunk of my life. But on the booty kit of it, I wanted them to show what Jesus had to pay in order for me to have that life. The destruction that he went through, the cross on his back, the carrying it up to Golgotha Hill and next to the 3 crosses. I wanted him to show all that. And Randy done a beautiful job because I told Randy my story, never showed him a picture to go off of. And he was able to come up with this. And some of this on the booty kit, he told me, he said he came up with that because he had to read the Bible. And that's what I want. That's the name of this car is called Klymaxx. It's designed to take us to realize that we all have a peak that we go through in life. And once we reach that peak, what are you going to do?
And
That's
like
what
God
it's all.
wanted you to have the life you're supposed to have in the Bible: family,
That's
life,
true.
and not destruction and drugs.
Yeah,
Amen.
wow. What an amazing story. And, I'm pretty sure out there's a lot of murals that have different stories, but this one was probably the most touching story I've ever heard on a mural.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Randy G. He's talented.
He's very talented, super talented. And Randy also did the firewall and the dash, correct?
No, that was done by Frank Ramirez. Frank done the firewall, the dash, and all underneath the patterns underneath the car.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of custom wheels and tires are you running on Klymaxx?
I'm running 13.7s on there, and those are running 520 tires, and the rims are actually Galaxy rims. The rims, I've been having those 8 years before the car was built.
Oh, wow.
I met the owner of Galaxy, and the reason why those rims are special because instead of having a chip in the middle of the knockoff, I made him engrave that knockoff with his name, the Galaxy name in there. So these are special.
Wow. And what kind of tires you running?
520s. Those are 520 Croakers.
Croakers?
Yeah,
Croaker tires? A member of Citywide Car Club out here in Colorado. Can you give us a little insight of the club and the charity work that you provide to the community?
Wow. The club, I've been a part of this this club for 8 years. I believe I'm on my 4th year of just being the president of the club. It was turned over to me from Caesar and Chuck and Jay. And this club is a family-oriented club. We have a motto, which is, 90-10. And 90-10 is we want 90% of quality people and the 10% in the car. We have the model that we could fix the car, but we just can't fix the person.
Yeah.
And so this club is based on family. Our wives are active in the club. Our kids are active in the club. And what we do is we design it to help people. We want to lift people up. We want people to have better lives. And what does that look like? If it looks like we have to go out and feed them, we'll go feed them. If we have to provide scholarships for them, we'll provide scholarships. If we have to provide shoes for a kid in school or backpacks, we'll provide for them. And that's what we do first. That's our first.
Some of our favorite fundraising stuff we do, or stuff we do with the community, is before we partner with another car club, Completas. We go and feed the homeless at Christmas time, at Thanksgiving time, and then at Christmas time, on Christmas Eve, we go and randomly select families and give money out to them on Christmas and just bless them for their Christmas. And I think last year for Christmas, we did close to $3,000.
$3,000.
Wow.
We just walk in the stores and
pay people money, and
hand them money and pay for their Christmas Christmas gifts.
Yeah,
And
we put some refugees
so,
this year too.
yeah,
Gave
so
them some clothes and stuff.
that's what we want to do. That's what we designed this car club to do.
That's amazing, man. And to be, putting a hand to the community and helping everybody out is just, that's the work that a lot of people need to do. You know what
At
I'm
the end of the
saying?
day, a car is just a car, but who you are is more important.
Yeah.
Like your car it can get wrecked tomorrow, but who are you? If you die tomorrow, who are you? Your car, or are you who your slow souls you've touched? That's how I felt.
What legacy are you leaving? What legacy are you leaving?
Amen. I totally agree 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Building a car of this magnitude, who is the person that had their hand in the build as well as supported you through the good times, the bad times on completing Klymaxx?
Oh, wow.
Not just one person.
Yes, I got a lot of
You
people.
got a lot of people?
First off, me.
You gotta,
There's so many other people.
First of all, I just thank God for us giving us the means to build this car. I mean, this is an expensive hobby that you're in. And then I got to thank my wife. I do have to thank her because, a lot of times we lose our wives over building something like this or spending money here and there. And everybody I think that I'm going to name, God has pulled them into my life for a reason. Fabian, I got to talk about him. We literally spent 8 to 9 months during COVID season. Every Saturday, every day he didn't have to go to work. There's sometimes he even called in and took a vacation, and we worked hand and foot on this car. And the funniest thing about that is I remember a conversation we just had, like how he went home and told his wife, I'm not going back helping Booker. And I go tell my wife, I don't want to invite Fabian back. But it was a love relationship that we grew with each other, whether we liked what it was, but that taught me a lot during that. So he came hand and foot. I got to thank Glenn South, Hardcore Cash down there. He's the one that took this frame the very first time and built this frame and walked me hand and foot with that. I got to thank Wax. Wax is my boy. Anything I need, he put a lot of time in his car, wet sanding and buffing the car. I got to thank little Mikey. He's my road dog. I mean, when we first went to Vegas, he said, I'm going there with you. So he's made a lot of road trips with us with this car and back. So I have to thank
your club brothers.
I got to thank my club brothers. Brian came down, Ralph, Yoli, my LA chapter. I got to thank Frank Ramirez, from Majestic Car Club. He's the one that I had to talk about a retirement just to do the patterns on this car. So Tomas, I thank Tomas, and
so many people.
It's hard to say. So, and I especially want to really thank the people in Colorado, because when I won at the shows, they're the ones that came to LA and supported me, backed me up, took pictures by my car. At the first time I was in Vegas, they came. So so many car clubs came. My heart goes to you. Thank you. It's from the
Car clubs in
south,
Colorado
north,
are amazing.
east, west. Everyone in Colorado, I thank you personally.
Yeah,
Wow.
our car clubs are amazing in Colorado.
They are.
And
And
your kids too. You gotta think your kids. Our kids roughed it through the years of the car shows. And
so, Christy, what were some of your ideas on this build?
we were talking about it earlier. I don't know if I really had any. I think we're gonna bring them home and say, "What do you think about this?" And they'd be like, "That's good. That's nice." I don't know if there was really one idea that I really had for it at all. You know,
I think it's the kids.
maybe the kids.
We put the kids on the wheel. You said you got to put
because he had put his story about the trunk is he has half of his family on there, but he's missing his older kids because Randy thought that the two boys were the same as the two older boys. And their kids are on it. Their kids are on it. They aren't.
Yeah.
So when it came time for the wheels, I'm like, you need to put your older boys somewhere on the car because I know their daughters are on the car, but you missed them. So I guess maybe that probably was part of it. And then setting up and different things. I do set up, help with ideas on the setup when we're doing the setup and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of some of the stuff that I
Yeah, your booker's right hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely. And what kind of custom car do you own? I know I've seen you at some shows and you have a very beautiful, is it a Volkswagen?
I have a couple custom Volkswagens. I have a 69 Bug convertible that's custom, and I take her out to the car shows a lot. But I also have a Carmagia, 71 Carmagia that was actually in a Hot VW magazine centerfold. So it's a 71 Carmagia that's all custom out and got a convertible top and nice paint job and fun car.
Wow. So do you got an Impala like Booker?
I do have a 66 Impala convertible.
Oh, wow.
My baby, I call her Ethel.
Ethel.
She's 70,000 miles we normally drive her around, but she needs some work. But I like her the way she is. I could take her to the grocery store and throw groceries in the back and don't have to worry about scratching her.
And just live life and enjoy
Just
the
have
car.
fun.
life.
Yeah, she's fun.
That's awesome. Seeing Klymaxx set up at a car show, you could spend an hour just admiring all the detail, all the modifications that were made to make this car stand out from the rest. What are some of the shows and awards that you have won with Klymaxx?
Wow. Our first show we won when we first debuted was Lowrider Super Show in Colorado Springs. That's the one that Iggy had. That was an amazing show. We won that show. So many amazing cars were there. Glock 9 was there. Mad Max 61. That was a great show. We won that show. And then we took it to Vegas. We ended up taking second place in our category.
Wow.
Right next to Breaking Bad.
Wow.
But that was a great honor there. And then from there, we ended up winning. We brought it back to Colorado and took second down in Colorado Springs. That show was done by Robert Espinoza. And then our latest, I think our greatest ones was really surprising to us. We won the Super Show in LA on Cinco de Mayo last year.
Wow.
We swept that show, 1,200 cars there. Original Lowrider had that show, and I think that was one of our greatest accomplishments because we didn't see that one coming. I came out of nowhere. It was always my dream to be in LA Convention Center, and then I walk out the winner. I'm like, wow, God is good. That's all I can say.
But I think our greatest trophy we've ever had is the people that admire it, and you see people looking at the picture of Jesus, and we've actually seen people pray in front of it, and seen kids say, "Mommy, what's the man doing on the cross?" And the mom talks to the kids about Jesus and what's going on there. So that to me is the biggest trophy I can ever have, and just maybe changing one life or something is more than the trophy we take home.
That's true.
And the people we meet during the car shows, to me, is the best trophy ever. Like the other stuff is woodwork, right? It's the stuff that comes and goes, but who you meet, who you connect with, people like you,
long life,
and everyone else. We know people all over the nation now that we never would have met if we didn't have our cars. So
it was connections.
And from everybody from Colorado, we want to thank you and your wife for building such a beautiful car and representing our state.
Oh,
thank you.
So thank you very much.
There's a lot of pretty cars, a lot of beautiful cars in Colorado too.
There's a lot of beautiful cars.
They're coming out too.
And we're going to try and put a lot of these cars on the Lowrider Connection so the world can see these beautiful cars coming out of the box state. Thank you, Booker and Christy, for inviting us to your shop and letting us connect with you guys. And thanks for taking time out of your night
Thank you
for us to come by and hang out with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Smoke, and thank you for what you're doing.
Appreciate it. Yeah, Thank you for what you're doing. It's great.
Yes.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And with that being said, we'd like to thank you for tuning in, and we'd like to welcome you back next week for another episode of the Lowrider Connection, representing beautiful rides from Colorado. Thanks so much. Please like and subscribe.